Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about The Wizard of Oz and books and the film and which one is better. And we're going to do this because recently I made the comment that there is no man behind the curtain. You know, the world is just a chaotic place, something along those lines. And that apparently really bothered somebody. And I got what may be the funniest piece of hate mail I have ever received in my life. So I feel obligated to share it with y'all. So I'll read it. I'm going to crack a couple jokes, but there's also a point here. You're everything that's wrong with America. You know it's going to be good. They're always good when they start off with that. Uneducated, ignorant, gay, hillbillies like you, catering to a woke agenda are the problem. You said there is no man behind the curtain trying to tell people there wasn't a plan by them to get Trump. But there was a man behind the curtain. Why don't you kick off your ruby slippers and let me explain? In the book, which I'm sure you've never read, there was a man behind the curtain. Don't tell people there's no man behind the curtain. Don't destroy that wonderful line. You're actually saying pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, which was the lie he told to distract them. I never watched the movie because they always mess up books. They'll come for you too eventually. I'm sure watching that, not a nice word for gay people, movie is what messed you up. Read more, redneck. If you had read the book, you probably would not be enjoying the company of men and shoving that ruby slipper someplace other than my foot. And then it launches into an incredibly descriptive and pretty detailed fantasy, I guess, maybe, or at least what he believes I do for fun. Which, I mean, whatever. But I feel like if you're going to send me a message like this, you should probably buy me dinner first. Okay, so you're right. You're right. I did watch the movie. I did, in fact, watch the movie. But I also read the book. I did. I've read the book. You haven't, though. you didn't. You watched the movie. I don't know why you framed it this way. Trying to make it, I don't know that reading Wizard of Oz is something that's going to, like, impress people. It certainly doesn't impress somebody through, like, an anonymous message to a person on YouTube. But you definitely did not read the book. You watched the movie. And this is important. That we have to establish that this is true. If you had read the book and not watched the movie, you wouldn't be talking about ruby slippers. You'd be talking about silver ones because they were silver in the book. They became ruby for the movie because the movie was in color and silver was gray, black and white, So that they did that. The line that you are so attached to, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, is not in the book. It's not in the book because there's not a curtain in the book. In fact, the word curtain is not in the book anywhere. It was a screen. It was tipped over by the dog, not pulled back. You definitely watched the movie. So it's important to establish that little part of it. Is that you definitely watched the movie. Now, when I said that, I was referencing the movie too, because I don't think watching Wizard of Oz makes you enjoy the company of men. But here's the thing. In the movie, there is no man behind the curtain. Even though you see it. It's all in her head. It was a dream. There actually wasn't a man behind the curtain. It's something that she made up, like most dreams, trying to make sense of the chaos, trying to find order. Human beings like patterns. Their brains love patterns, and they try to find them. The reason people seek out and find conspiracy theories everywhere they look is because they see these patterns. They see the same names show up. Or maybe they can link something to a name that they have decided is a bad person or whatever, because they look for the patterns. And those patterns create these theories. And these theories make people feel comfortable. They make them feel like there is somebody in control, that the world isn't scary and chaotic, that there's a plan. When there's kind of not. You have a whole bunch of different people with competing interests, normally out for themselves. Yeah, a lot of the richer people, they know each other, and yeah, they do deals with each other because, generally speaking, us people on the bottom, we don't have a whole lot to offer them. So those with more money, more power coupons, they tend to associate with each other because they're the only other people that can make deals with each other at that level. Do they at times coordinate and, do things to benefit themselves? Of course they do. Of course they do. That's kind of how they got the power coupons to begin with. But the idea that there is some grand conspiracy, it's kind of like Dorothy's dream. It's just making sense of the chaos. Interestingly enough, had you actually read the book, you would kind of have a point, because the dream sequence doesn't exist in the book. But I'm fairly certain you've never read it. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.